as a signed copy. It's now just a damaged comic book in their mind. Stuff like that. So I don't like selling signed copies.
CGC is what?
CGC is Comics Gratuity Company or Guarantee Company. They actually grade comics and seal them in plastic, and that's the grade they stay at as long as you don't damage that.
It's the
plastic.
industry standard for
a comic book can actually lose value.
Yes,
but by having it signed.
Yes, because
even if it's by the original.
The only way that they will guarantee that is the signature of who it is if they witness the signing.
Okay.
So
really?
Oh yeah.
So if I take a picture of the guy
nope,
signing it,
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
They don't count.
But they can legitimize.
Right. They can legitimize it as being signed by him, but you have to go someplace where they're at.
Wow.
Or pay for a witness, one of their witnesses to come and actually sit there and take comic books in at that time and watch them sign. So yeah, it's a whole different.
What is your prized possession?
Mine. Actually, the first appearance of Crypto. It's actually at home, and that's my. I love Crypto, and it's one of my favorite books. So I go as long as I live. So.
To somebody who's not familiar with
Crypto is Superman's pet dog from back in the '60s. So
wow.
First appearance.
Oh wow.
So, what's the date on that?
God, I don't even know. It's been so long since I looked it up. I think it's like 50 something.
Wow.
I have to go back and look, but yeah, it's old.
Do you know the number of the issue?
No, not off the top of my head. I just have it framed, put it on my wall. So.
Very cool. Very cool. So, spoilers, we're going to transition to the Avengers movie. Give me your thoughts on it right off the bat.
I loved that movie. It was everything I wanted to know about Avengers. It's all right there. It's awesome. Every character got their screen time. Every star got their shining moment.
Absolutely.
And I don't think I've seen a better movie in a long time.
Well,
I don't even think, and this is blasphemy, but Dark Knight Returns. Yeah. You know what? I'm scared actually, because you gotta think this way. I don't know. I loved Nolan's Batman.
Absolutely.
But my fear is that the second movie was popular because of the death of Heath Ledger. That brought a lot of people into it. I'm hoping that those people return again for the next one, and I think they will. So I'm hoping that because they fell in love with the characters and they fell in love with the story. But holy crap, Avengers! Yeah, I see a picture on Facebook where it has like all the cast standing there pointing and going, "Your turn now, Batman." And it's kind of like a challenge thing.
Wow!
And I'm just like,
they even changed the marketing of the movie. They've tried to. Batman has done some new commercials where they're trying to pull together as many characters into it.
I couldn't tell you. I'm on a blackout for all movies, comic book movies this summer. I have not seen a single preview, trailer, commercial, or anything.
Cool.
I did the same thing for Avengers.
Yeah. And put a commercial where they've got Catwoman and Batman. They're trying to pull them. It doesn't even. The commercial seems weird. Like they're really pulling to get as many comic book characters in.
And here's the thing, right? Is Batman? They've always relied on viral marketing. That's been their thing. If you remember back to the Heath Ledger stuff, it was all that. Can you find Joker? There's wanted posters. There's the phone calls and all that stuff from the first one. Where was Harvey Dent would call you to tell you, hey, I'm running for office, stuff like that. They did a lot of viral marketing as opposed to mainstream marketing. So I haven't heard much this time. You had the newspapers that came out, with all that stuff with Joker's wanted picture on it and things like that. You just don't see that right now.
What did you think about the Hulk's performance? I was let down by the first movie.
You know what? Here's the thing, right? I understand why they signed him for 6.
6?
Yeah, they signed him for 6 movies as soon as
Hulk.
Yep.
Wow.
So I think
when
he did
watched
an awesome
the second
job.
Hulk,
I think he kind of stole the
did.
the movie, and I was leery about it because I kind of didn't like the way that they treated Edward Norton on his way out. They kind of did it kind of backhanded. But
what do you mean? Explain.
Well, there was a Marvel press release out about how he didn't work well with the casting crew and all that stuff before they even announced that he wasn't going to be. It was somebody screwed up and sent that release. And, Edward Norton came out and was like, well, that's how you feel. Okay, no problem.
Wow. Right.
And so it was kind of like, it was kind of crappy the way they did that.
Well, nothing against Edward Norton. Seeing Tyler Durden as the Hulk it's kind of taken away from Hulk itself. And the new actor, what's his name?
Mark Ruffalo.
give it a sense of here's a scientist that went through an experiment and now he's dealing with this dilemma.
And
but the second Hulk movie was Edward Norton is the Hulk. You didn't even really put together that he has a background as being, a scientist.
Right. I mean, the thing with the new movie is you can see the actor in the Hulk.
Right.
I mean,
yes, his face.
The whole transition of, he's a big giant CGI guy, but I mean, you could actually see that little something that was like, hey, I have a secret kind of thing going on through the whole movie, until he finally tells you,
like his best line in the
what
movie.
my secret is, and it's like, you're like, oh my God, because he always had this. He always had this, like, I know something you guys don't. Look,
So. Spoilers. His secret to being the Hulk is he's always angry.
Yeah.
And how Hulk becomes the Hulk
was so cool
is he
when he
loses
does that.
his cool and becomes the Hulk.
Right.
He has to go through a situation where it makes him extremely angry, and out comes the Hulk.
Right.
How did you like that being introduced to the character when it was always? You didn't know when it was going to happen.
Before you had to get him fucked up.
I thought it was great because he has control over the creature now. To some extent. He has control whether he comes out or not, for the most part, unless something happens and he's like he gets hurt or something like that, and he can keep control. But I think that was the awesome part, is that he was kind of like I just let go. So.
Right.
The thing I liked about the movie is I've never been into comic books or anything like that.
I'm sorry,
but when I watch this movie, it makes me want to go back and watch the Thor and
the movie. You didn't watch Thor?
No.
Oh my God! Somebody throw a shoe at him.
It's like that world's never. It's just never been a part of me, you know what I mean? It wasn't until I met Wes that he was like, dude, you have to check, let's go here. And he brings me in here, we're checking it. And I'm like, wow, you know what? And there's, it just, for anybody who's layman's to this whole comic book world, once you get into it, it's like it grabs you and it holds you,
Soap opera for guys.
Yeah, that's
what it is.
I said, it's just so, it's such a cool thing. To get involved in, you know what I mean?
Well, you think about it, it's women had soap operas. They didn't miss their. I'm not missing my shows. I mean, my mom was an avid fan of All My Children. Noon every day, on the TV. That's what was on. You didn't have a choice.
General Hospital, 2:00.
Exactly, same concept. It's like every month these books come out. It's you're delving into somebody's. Not just, and that's the thing. It's just storytelling. It's not just what it used to be was that bubblegum pop thing that I talked about. Now
there's actual substance.
Now it's full on stories. You're getting into the emotional, these characters and stuff, and that's writers like Jeff Johns, Bendis, all these people like that. They get you into the psyche of the characters. It's more like reading a novel with pictures to it. It's not just bam, the big bam and biffs and all that stuff on the screen.
Like the old Batman.
Exactly. We're talking now. These are actual legitimate, stories that you're just like, you can get into those characters, and people get emotionally invested in these characters. And that was a bad part of the 52, was that when they relaunched, a lot of these characters changed their backgrounds and changed these things, and people who had been in love with these characters forever, angry, and it's like, it's a story. We're turning the page on the history of these characters, and we're starting a new one. So either you continue reading or find something else to read. But if you love this character so much, you're gonna love every aspect of that character, no matter what. So there's certain characters, Hood and the Outlaw, Starfire, that was like a beloved character from a cartoon show that everybody loved, and they changed her completely to being something that's sexy. She's an alien. She doesn't. Sex is something that she just does with people. It doesn't. It's nothing but just a physical thing. It's not, no emotion to it. And that.
Why
just
can't we find more women like that?
That just freaked everybody out. So
that reminds me of what I've heard on the press release about the new Ninja Turtles movie. What's your feelings on Michael Bay taking a giant
schnitzel
on now it's not even Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're gonna have to change the whole
Teenage
title.
Aliens Coming to Earth. I personally, I've never been a huge Ninja Turtle fan. It was, the comic books were okay for me. I'm not a huge black and white reader, so that was probably a big barrier for me. But and the cartoon was out when I was older, so I wasn't really, it wasn't a beloved thing for me. But I do, if you're going to take something like that and turn it into something completely opposite, I think you need to die by fire. There's a few of these movie directors who I feel need to be Molotov cocktails thrown at them because they've ruined what is essentially everybody.
Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, I love Superman. I love the new movie for what it was.
Did you?
But it angered me because it was what it was. Superman would never be an absentee father. Superman would never stalk his ex-girlfriend and stand outside her home and listen in on her. I mean, all these different things. It was like, the best parts of those movies.
Like emo Superman.
Yeah, the best part of those movies were it wasn't dealing with the outside storyline. It was all the fighting and the action scenes of it. And it was just poignant and bad directing, honestly. So I think he should have stuck with X-Men and let somebody else do Superman. So, and then of course you have the Wolverine origin movie, which was like, wow, really? Come on, I bedazzled Emma Frost. And then if you watch what made me laugh is if you watch the after credit stuff for that, you see the producer, she's a female, right? And I don't think she's ever read a comic book in her entire life because she's talking about Emma Frost in the movie, and she's like, "Oh, she was beautiful, and all these speckled jewels all over her." And I'm like going, "That's not Emma Frost. What part of Emma Frost did you ever even pick up a comic book and look at Emma Frost to see what the character concept was?" Because they actually showed all these different ways that they did her. And they chose the bedazzled version of her. And I was just like, why would you do that?
She's like a diamond.
She's supposed to be diamond skin, which means fauceted skin.
Right.
Not a bunch of diamonds over her skin. And that's her.
It was that
holy. Bedazzled.
It was that producer who probably had the final say on it and was like, that's what we're going with. And I'm like going, read a comic book. The Superman movie, right? It came out right about that time where Jeff Johns was writing Superman, and there was Chris, which was an adopted Kryptonian kid that Superman and Lois Lane were, raising, right? And it's like he kind of picked up a comic book, saw a kid in there, and said, "Oh, well, Superman has a kid. Let's put him in the movie." And didn't actually read the story to know why that kid was in there. It's like, just take a few seconds and do a little bit of research. Maybe you might, the stories are already written. I know you want to put your own slant on them, but they're already written and they're really good. You don't have to actually go in and rewrite everything. That's why I'm kind of looking forward to the new Superman movie, because I mean, no, but
really,
no, it's Zach. Who's doing it? Zach, the guy who did Watchmen. He does visuals awesomely. I did not like Sucker Punch because of the story.
Yeah,
the visuals were stunning.
Were
stunning.
Yeah, the story was awesome.
Exactly, because he wrote the story. So I'm thinking, as long as he doesn't write the story with Superman and somebody else does the script, it's going to be an awesome movie. So it'll look great, and hopefully the script will be awesome too. So, and it's not going to be a rehash of something that was done in the 80s, 70s and 80s, which, you don't need to do that. Everybody knows the origin of Superman. Everybody knows he came to Earth in a rocket ship, raised by Kents, that stuff like that. You don't need to do that stuff. We all know that. And if you're going to do it, just do a montage in the beginning credits. That's all, just to give them the basic backgrounds. And start them out here in Metropolis, that stuff like that. I just, maybe I'm talking out my ass, but I honestly, you got to get people hooked in the first.
You're talking about writing and all that.
And I'm a comic shop retailer. I don't write comics. I don't write movies. So, and that's the thing is that, I sell the stuff. I know what the customers here like because I'm the one selling it to them. So,
but you are looking
I'm not going to tell you how to write, but I'm going to tell you what would probably work as a way of, hey, this is really cool. Maybe you can incorporate that in it. I'm not going to tell you, oh, write this, write that. I mean, I know. I've had conversations with creators where it's like, people come up to and say, oh, well, you should be doing it this way. And it's like, I don't want to be that guy, but holy crap, please give me something that actually will make people want to buy comic books again. So.
But you were talking about earlier, but you're looking to start a comic book camp?
Yeah, actually, we're trying to get something together for this summer. Where it's basically, we'll have creators and come in, kids, anybody actually of all ages can come in and over the progression of 3 months of summer be able to create a full 24-page comic book. Start from concept storyboarding. It's not storyboarding, I forget what it's called, layouts, basically, scripting, the whole bit like that. And just kind of, I have a couple of creators who have said that